Welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. In today's video, we are continuing our camping trip at McGregor Provincial Park, and I'm out on a day trip. Today I'm up in the vicinity of Lion's Head, and I'm meeting up with a person I know from my nature club back at home. His name is Ray, and he has invited me to spend some time up in his area around Lion's Head, and we're going to go and have a look for the wildlife that lives in this area. So stay tuned. So right now we are currently standing what I would say is about 4 to 5 feet away from that Massasauga rattlesnake. And the only reason we knew that it was there, Ray had seen it in previous days, so he had an idea of where to look again. But it rattles. It rattles its tail in order to warn you to not come any closer. And that's because, of course, rattlesnakes are venomous. They are intended to be venomous to paralyze their small prey, which would be things like, rabbits and mice, voles, rats, whatever it is that would be like a small mammal. And they have heat sensors. I can't focus on the face of it because I can't get that close to it. And it's not facing a way that's cooperative. But they have heat sensors, and that's how they are able to detect their prey. Of course, they have the tongue that tastes the air, like you've seen me show in other videos with snakes. But in this particular case, the venom is meant to make it easier for them, an animal with no legs, to swallow an animal whole that has 4 legs typically and wants to get away. So it's really just meant to paralyze them until they do the job of swallowing their prey. Now, as far as how dangerous is it to humans, yeah, it's got venom. And for areas that are located near venomous snakes, there should be hospitals or medical centers that have anti-venom to help reverse the effect. But it's something that doesn't, unless it's a very young person, an infant, or an older, more compromised health-wise person, it might not, in those cases, it could prove to be fatal. But for the rest of us that, have a good immune system and, we're healthy, it would be something that needs to be treated, but it's not something that would typically have to be life-threatening. So it's been very exciting to be able to see this.
Many people think that these are dangerous snakes, and they are in the wrong circumstances. And many people, even people who are veterans in areas where these snakes live, think they need to kill the snakes as soon as they see one because they think they're dangerous and they ought to be killed. But there is no need of that. They don't get excited unless you're about 2 feet away from them. They don't come at you. They wait for you to come at them, and they'll bite you if they have to. And actually in Ontario, there's a $250,000 fine for intentionally killing one and up to 5 years in jail. And that's meant to disabuse people of the notion that they need to be killed because they're dangerous, I think.
So today's been an incredible day. I was so excited to see that Massasauga rattlesnake, and I'm really indebted to Ray Schrempf. He's the one who invited me to drop by his cottage, said he'd found a couple of rattlesnakes, And so one of them stayed put, and that's what we're fortunate enough to be able to see today. So on my way back to the campground, I thought I would make a stop. So I made a phone call to my friend Dorothy. You met her in an earlier video where I had explored some private property that she owns and used my drone to help me with exploring it in the winter time. So I'm going to have a chance to go and visit her right now, and I'm bringing you along. So I'm just having a stop here and visiting with Dorothy. She's got her dogs. Of course, they're romping around in the water to cool down and play. And so this area here is called Red Bay. The name of the body of water is Red Bay. So just stay here and visit for, another 20 or 30 minutes, and then I will be continuing on my journey back to McGregor Provincial Park. Oh, so much beauty. You can see from my attire that we're in full-fledged black fly season still. And when I was at Dorothy's and left there just say 25 minutes ago, she said, yeah, on the Victoria Day weekend, which is a Canadian long weekend that took place, around the 20th or so of May. She said, yeah, the black flies were very hard to tolerate. We didn't have that problem at McGregor Point. But here we are at Sauble Falls, and it's pretty buggy. But once you come equipped like this with a bug shirt, non-stop beauty. So I'm going to let you just drink it in. Yeah, so that was absolutely beautiful. I'm really glad that I stopped off here. I mean, it was right on my way back to McGregor Point. The black flies, they're a bit of an issue, but the beauty is nonstop. The sound of the rushing water is nonstop. And so that is the Sauble River. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. So we haven't spent very much time outside here at our site. And so I'm going to give you an idea of what this site looks like. And Shannon and I are actually just about ready to go on a little tour of the area. We were going to do that last weekend, but that's when we ended up going back home, while her dad was in the hospital with his broken hip. So I'll show you what our site looks like. And you just had, we just left Miley on the bed with her legs up in the air, contorted body. She's very much loving her camping experience. I'll show you what her tent looks like. And we haven't made any use of our gazebo, which is like a place where we normally would like to eat. We haven't had a real issue with bugs because the temperatures were so cool. Today is lovely. It's about 20 degrees Celsius. The rain is going to come in a little later today, and we'll have it, I guess, most of tomorrow. So we've got about 5 days left here. So when there's rain, that's fine. That's when I do my video editing. So here is a little look about our site. We brought this for the first time. This is where we keep our bicycles. So they are locked up inside, chained to one of these trees, and we haven't had a chance to get them out just yet. So there's Shannon's truck. And of course our trailer. and then you can see my truck. This is Miley's new tent. It's got a tarp on the top of it right now. Because we had rain, we would just throw that over it. Now we just leave the tarp on the top so that it doesn't get dew and things like that inside. So she loves this. She's not inside right now. She's got her trampoline. It gives her a chance to have a nice clear view of all the critters that come around to torment her. So I can see that the bug numbers are starting to build up. So I mean, that's been the advantage with having this cool weather. Mosquitoes, black flies, like they've all been sort of laying low until the temperatures started warming up this week. Because we had temperatures that were pretty much around 11 degrees Celsius. We are going back down to that after today. So to that I say, yeah, it's nice to not have to work around, bringing a jacket and a vest and staying warm. But it means I'm also not wearing my bug shirt when the temperatures are cool. So right now it's warm. We're soaking it up. We love it. Like everybody else. It's just that these temperatures are what will bring out the bugs. So anyway, we're dropping down in the temperature and that's fine. So yeah, so Shannon and I are going to go and do a little tour. We got a couple of grocery items that we're going to pick up. And we are going to check out the town of Paisley. It's not very far from here. It's actually where we started our paddle when we went into when we paddled the Saugeen River. So that's something that we are now going to explore. It seems like a quaint little town, not far from here, and we're going to bring you along. What I find is really interesting is folks who watch the channel enjoy when we tour nearby towns, when we're out camping or we're out on day trips, because you can tell with the YouTube analytics where people are enjoying the video and where their interest is dropping off. And so it tends to be that when we are exploring little towns, people really love that. We're going to do that anyway, and we want to bring you along. So we're in Paisley, just parked the vehicle, and this is the very first thing we saw. Just walked a couple of storefronts and noticed this Cowan canoe and kayak. Anyway, that is a beautiful view. So the access point that we took when we came here to paddle the Saugeen River was access point 10, and that was very close to the town of Paisley. So this is the Saugeen River, and yeah, you can see it's full of waterfowl, up the river. But anyway, beautiful view. So this was a nice way for us to start off. So it's a neat little town, and of course we are here on a Wednesday, and we see that a lot of the businesses are closed on Wednesdays. But it's given us a chance. I mean, it's only 20 minutes away from McGregor Point, so it's given us a chance to have a look around. We're quite happy we did that. And oh my God, can you imagine having the Saugeen River flow through your town? Yeah, that was breathtaking. So we're gonna continue heading back in the direction of where we parked. And Shannon, who's always got her eye open for a tea shop or a coffee shop.
Yeah. You know, I have to support the local tea shops in town. It's my job.
So we've gone through our camping routine in the past, and I just want to go through a few things for those of you who are new to the channel. We try to do all of our cooking outside, and that's to keep the moisture outside of our travel trailer. So we have a pull-out propane stove that's in the underpass over there. We do have a stove, propane stove inside, and there are times we will end up using it, you know, when the weather's pretty cold, like when we're camping in the fall. But what I'm going to be pulling out in just a few minutes is an electric frying pan, and we've found that that's been a real step saver. So tonight's menu consists of steak for me, and Shannon is going to have salmon. We're also getting a couple of baked potatoes, and we have a convection microwave oven inside, so she's used the microwave oven or the convection oven in order to cook them. And we also will have some vegetables that we're going to grill up. So mushrooms, peppers, things of that nature. So that's what our spread is going to consist of. So we're kind of doing things in stages. We have to make sure we don't blow a circuit. So in other words, if we were trying to run the frying pan and the convection oven at the same time, that would put more emphasis on the 15 amp service that these are both connected to. So we just sort of stagger what we have to make. And this also is our dishwashing area. So at the end of the day, we bring all of our dishes. We have a drying rack and things like that. So we bring the dish pan, everything outside. And the water jug that you see here, which is a 5-gallon jug, this is one where we will get the park's water and use that. We bring our kettle outside, we boil it up so we get nice hot water. Inside, we will occasionally wash dishes. And yes, when we're at an electric site, there's hot water available on demand. If we are on a non-electrical site, it just means that we will use propane, of course, to heat the water. But the reason this is more sources of moisture. So we like to keep that stuff outside if we can. And so this park water is potable water. There's a water tap just down the road. We also have a whole water reservoir, 35 gallons in the trailer, that is potable water. However, we never use the water from the provincial parks. And the only reason for that is I can pretty well drink and eat anything and I don't seem to have any ill effects. But there was a time where a few years ago we had park water and that's what we were using to drink. And Shannon started getting some swelling around her lips. It's because there was a trace of sulfur and she is allergic to sulfur. So what we do is we just fill up a 5-gallon jug inside, and that's what we use with a USB rechargeable dispenser. And we use that to drink tea and have glasses of water and do any sort of cooking goes with that. But that's why we will use the park's water for doing things like showers and for, washing the dishes and that. So it's not to say that the water is unsafe in a provincial park, because it probably is tested on a regular basis. It is potable. It's just because Shannon has an allergy to sulfur, we just want to eliminate any possibility that that's going to be in our food or in our beverages. So anyway, so that's what we have right now. We haven't had a chance really to get out and use our dining shelter. Temperatures have been, fluctuating. Like today's temperature is 11 degrees, so that's fine. Shannon's going to come out here in a few minutes and join me as I'm just cooking up the rest of the meal. She's done a lot of the prep inside already. And Miley, we have her outside and she's just absolutely loving her camping experience. She really does not enjoy camping under a couple of circumstances. Miley's a bit of a wuss. So when there are birds making a lot of noise, like crows or blue jays, sometimes they're making the noise because they know she's the intruder and they want her to go away, and she's happy to oblige and head right inside the trailer. So we'll hear her yowling and things like that. Also, if there's road traffic. So there are times we've been at provincial parks and the campsite we're on is not too far from a road where there's, transport trucks and things like that. She's not fond of that kind of road noise. So, but in most cases, she loves provincial parks because then there's red squirrels, there's chipmunks, things like that they don't care about her. They know that she's got a boundary. She can't get out of her tent after them. So anyway, she's got lots of things that keep her very, very interested and on high alert for things that need to be chased. So anyway, so she loves her camping experience. So anyway, all right, I'm going to get started with getting things ready so that we can have our dinner in the not too distant future. I can smell the peppers already. Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Yeah. No, this is great dinner.
Thanks.
Hey, little guy. I know. I feel like I'm teasing them, right? When I arrived at this little footbridge, I had, I don't know, 3 or so chickadees that surrounded me, and it's because they're used to being fed seeds. And I know I'm guilty of having done it because when we were at Pinery, staying there in the winter, this past winter, we put seeds and laid them on the banisters so that I could get some good shots of tufted titmice and other birds. But I hope it works out for them because they just come very readily. So I'm out enjoying a hike this morning. Temperatures are lovely, about 13 degrees Celsius, virtually no chance of rain. And I just came from Merganser's Cove, and now I'm heading up towards, I guess, well, actually moving back in the direction of the lake, past the campgrounds. So let me see, this is Nipissing Campground. I'm heading towards Huron Campground. We are staying in Algonquin Campground. So as I pass Huron Campground, then I'll be heading back towards the lake shore, according to this map here. And I guess just as it gets a little later in the morning, I'm just moving away from where it's likely to be a little busier with more foot traffic. So yeah, it's just it's nice out here early in the morning. It's Friday morning. This is our last weekend. We are leaving on Monday. So this has given me a good chance to have some more time out in the woods, and it gives Shannon some time to get working on some more art. That's what she's been able to get done during her stay here. Okay, onward we go. So I just spotted a female hummingbird. I'm assuming it's a female ruby-throated hummingbird because there are no obvious markings. And this was the plant she was after. Not this specific one, but this is the one that she was stopped at. And so I don't think there's a whole lot of showy flowers in here, at least not at this time of year. So anyway, she perched in a tree and then she took off once I continued along this trail. So that was a really cool sighting to see a hummingbird that's not at somebody's feeder. So. I have not seen this viewing platform before. And you figure I've been here, 4 years in a row. And so I don't know how much of this is new. The platform doesn't look new. The picnic table does. But I guess this is a point on the map that I miss going to. Anyway, this is a beautiful wetland. And so the thing I'm really grateful for is the fact that we've had a fairly cool spring. So this is May 30th, almost the last day of the month. I shouldn't be able to stand out here without being swarmed by mosquitoes. So, and as I say, it was 13. I think the high today is supposed to be 17 degrees Celsius. That's mosquito weather. And that's what the birds need, is they need insects to be active so that they can fly around after them. But anyway, this is a beautiful viewing platform for this wetland. And just on the other side of the trail, just through the woods, is Lake Huron. So this is in a really nice, sweet spot. All right, I'm just going to take it in and let you do the same. So I just stayed out there for about 10-15 minutes having a look around. Beautiful viewing platform to overlook the wetlands that are in this area. So anyway, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to our campsite. So that's back this way, and I'm getting hungry. Okay, so we just got back to our site from that awesome bike ride. I'm so glad that you pushed me because I was inside doing some editing. She pushed me really hard because I thought, why don't we just go for a hike? Why don't we just walk? But it turns out Shannon had jumped on your bike the other day and you really enjoyed it. And so I figured we're going to go through the woods and let's go as far as Port Elgin. Let's just see what that ride would look like. So sorry for the poor sound quality, but we just figured we'd jump on the bikes and go. And we left the park. We're on Crown land, and so we came across this sign here. All we did is we just pedaled in the direction of Port Elgin. So we are still discovering our way around here, and we just wanted to show at least one landmark. It was amazing because you go through the park and it's a nice wooded pathway that you're cycling on with crushed stone on it. And then you go through Crown land. Oh my God, that's exciting. The fact that Shannon was happy to have me go first. I think it had something to do with not my navigational skills, but in case there was a bear sighting. So I did bring that other camera and hung it around my neck and did a little bit of filming because I thought, what if there's a porcupine? What if there's a bear or a fish or something cool? Then it'll give me a chance to film it. Yeah, I didn't see any of that, but it's okay. It was a really great ride, and it brought us right to the edge of Port Elgin. So anyway, that's I'm really glad that we ended up doing that, and I know we didn't give you a chance to really see fully what it looked like because I didn't have a camera going like a GoPro or something, but it's wooded for about half of it, and then it's the old rail line for the other part of it, and that's where you're going through farm fields. And then it sort of opens up into a parkway where you're then on the edge of the city. So why did you really want to go?
Well, my favorite kind of biking is trail riding and on groomed trails in the woods. Don't have to deal with cars. That's what I like. It's so serene. I love it. But when I went out yesterday, there's so many twists and turns, and I just felt like I didn't want to get lost without somebody. I didn't even have my cell phone with me. That was a no-no, or any identification on me whatsoever. So I thought, well, if I got a flat or anything like that, because you're going over stones and rocks, and I better turn around. And I thought, because there is a bear in the vicinity, that I didn't have bear spray with me, and I just felt safer going with Kathleen. So I nudged her today to go, and yeah, it was good. It was really fun.
So for those of you considering going on the bike trail, maybe you're bringing your bikes anyway, it's almost all level. So that's a really great thing. I know some folks would want the up and down, like when we enjoyed Sleeping Giant. It's nothing like that, where it was really mountainous and really rugged. This is just pretty much flat terrain, although twisty and turny and very beautiful for a good chunk of it. So anyway, bring your bikes if you're coming to McGregor Provincial Park. Okay, it's tea time. So we're providing you with a little bit of a wrap up. So we have had 3 videos on McGregor Provincial Park. And so we want to provide you with an overview of the things that mattered the most to us. So what we'll do is we'll provide you with some of the highlights. So we have been here for 2 weeks and we are leaving tomorrow morning, and we are on our way to Paisley Provincial Park, and we're going to be staying there for a period of time. So we're really happy to invite you along on that journey as well. For me, I would have to say that the hiking opportunities, not only here in McGregor Provincial Park, but over the course of the last 2 weeks, I've also had a chance to experience Inverhuron Provincial Park for the very first time, and Sauble Falls Provincial Park when I was coming back from Lion's Head in this episode. So that was really neat for me to be able to experience the beauty that is found in other provincial parks. So the neat thing is to be able to just drive to other provincial parks, see what we have in the vicinity, as well as Paisley, the town of Paisley. I think one of the big things that Shannon and I agree on is, as far as our highlight, is we had a chance to paddle the Saugeen River. So maybe what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to turn it over to Shannon, and you can hear from her what her highlights have been.
Paddling the Saugeen River.
Oh,
Why
God.
do you say what I'm supposed to say?
I wonder what Shannon's highlight is. So what have been the highlights over the last 3 weeks?
Paddling the Saugeen River, having a bonfire on the one night that we could.
2 nights with them.
That's true, 2 nights. Seems like so long ago. Yeah, the trails are beautiful around here. I like the trails. Yeah, it's a beautiful park.
Yeah, so the routine that we had is, and Shannon quite likes this, is when I'm gone for the first half of the day. And that gives her a chance to have some nice quiet and peace at that time of day. And then I go off and I explore the different trails. And when I had the opportunity to meet with Dave, who is a coyote expert, and that's when I went down to Inverhuron to meet with him, and Ray, who found these wonderful samples of Massasauga rattlesnakes not far from here, but in Lion's Head. I mean, that was exciting to me, and so I had a chance to do those things earlier in the day and then leave Shannon so that she could do the things that she enjoys doing. And Shannon, you're big on doing art. And
Yep, I sit back in the trailer with the cat and I do art. When it's warmer, I sit outside and do art, but it's been a little chilly these days.
yeah, I would have to say probably the average temperature during this time was about 11 degrees Celsius. So when you're sitting still, say at a campsite, you want to either be around a roaring fire or hiking. Hiking is what helps to keep your body temperature up there. We had that great bike ride yesterday, and so that's credit to Shannon, because Shannon is the one who experienced it, I guess, on her own the day before, and she wanted to experience it again when she went into bear territory with me. So anyway, so we had a chance to go and experience that together. So this park is beautiful. So we love this as our home base, and I love the hiking trails. I loved what I did yesterday, which was where I had hiked past the Mergansers Cove and saw that platform that overlooked a wetland that I hadn't seen before. So anyway, there's a lot of wonderful things, and we are really happy that this time we decided to stay 2 weeks. Most other times, because we came as a primary goal to paddle the Saugeen River, we stayed a few days the first year or two, and then we stayed a week, and this year we stayed for the first time 2 weeks. And we're really glad we did, because it gave us a chance to experience other areas like Paisley, a nearby town that's along the Saugeen River. Yeah, so I think it allowed us more time to explore the area. And Shannon, you had a chance to get into Port Elgin fairly regularly. We biked to Port Elgin yesterday. I mean, well, they have Starbucks. Come on. You know you have a warm and soft spot for that.
I am a Starbucks snob. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cute little town. And the little harbor in Port Elgin is, well, actually, it's quite nice.
Yeah, we did that actually a couple of days ago, where we just had a chance to sit down and in the vehicle and just look at the harbor. I got out and did a little bit of filming of that. So anyway, McGregor Provincial Park is a great thing. I know we didn't really show you the campground or anything like that, but I show you the hiking trails. And anyway, I want you to stay tuned, because, as I say, in the next couple of weeks, you're going to have a chance to see some great experience with me hiking the trails at McGregor Provincial Park, and I've got some people lined up that I'm going to be hiking with. So please stay tuned. Join us then. Bye for now.